There are moments in life when you stand in front of doors that seem permanently closed. You've knocked, you've prayed, you've waited, and still nothing moves. It feels like opportunity has passed you by, like your future is locked behind something you don't have the key to. But I came to remind you of something today. When God opens a door, no man, no system, no obstacle, and no force in this world can shut it. See, we often think access is determined by people, by connections, by qualifications, by timing, but heaven operates on a different system. God is not limited by human approval. He doesn't need permission from your past, your critics, or your circumstances. When he decides it's your time, doors will open that you didn't even know existed. Some of you are frustrated because you're trying to force open doors that God never assigned to you. You're exhausting yourself, pushing against resistance, wondering why it's not working. But not every open-looking door is a God-ordained door, and not every closed door is a denial. It might be divine protection. God will close doors to redirect you, to refine you, and to prepare you for something greater. When God opens a door, it comes with his authority. That means you don't have to manipulate your way in. You don't have to compromise your integrity to stay in. What God ordains, he sustains. And when he places you in a position, no one can remove you unless he allows it. But here's the key. You've got to be ready when the door opens. Favor may open the door, but character keeps you in the room. If you're not prepared, you can step into a blessing and lose it because you weren't equipped to handle it. God doesn't just open doors, he develops people. He works on your mindset, your discipline, your faith, so when the opportunity comes, you're not overwhelmed. You're aligned. And sometimes the door won't open immediately. That doesn't mean God isn't working. Delay is not denial. While you're waiting, God is arranging things behind the scenes. He's lining up the right people, the right timing, the right conditions. When everything is set, the door won't just open, it will swing wide in a way that makes it clear it was nobody but God. So stop worrying about who's against you. Stop focusing on what's closed. Lift your eyes higher. If God is for you, then what he has for you cannot be stopped. The same God who opens doors also goes before you, stands with you, and secures what he has promised. Walk in faith. Stay faithful. And when that door opens, walk through it with confidence, because what God opens, no one can shut. There is a tendency in life to believe that progress is controlled by people, systems, and visible structures. We are taught that if you know the right individuals, if you have the right credentials, if you fit the expectations of those in power, then doors will open for you. And while those things may have their place, they are not the ultimate authority over your destiny. There is a higher authority at work, one that is not subject to human limitation, bias, or control. When God steps in to open a door, it doesn't matter who tried to block it, ignore it, or deny it. His authority overrides every human decision. You may have experienced rejection that didn't make sense. You were qualified, prepared, and ready, yet the opportunity slipped through your fingers. It's easy in those moments to internalize the rejection and assume that your future is in the hands of people who failed to recognize your value. But what you must understand is that people are not the final authority. God is. And if he didn't allow that door to open, it's because he has something greater that no person can interfere with. When God opens a door, it comes with a level of power that no human system can override. You don't have to campaign for it, beg for it, or compromise yourself to keep it open. Too many people exhaust themselves trying to gain approval from others, thinking that their breakthrough is tied to someone else's opinion. But when God approves you, that settles the matter. His yes is greater than any human no. His decision cannot be overturned, delayed, or canceled by anyone. This kind of authority brings a deep sense of peace. It frees you from the pressure of trying to control outcomes that were never yours to control in the first place. You can stop striving to make things happen in your own strength and start trusting that what is meant for you will come to you at the appointed time. That doesn't mean you sit idle, it means you work faithfully. But you don't worry obsessively. You prepare yourself, but you don't panic. You move forward with confidence, knowing that your future is not fragile in the hands of people. It is secure in the hands of God. There will always be voices that try to define your limits. Some will say you're not experienced enough, not connected enough, not good enough, not good enough. Others may try to close doors out of jealousy, competition, or misunderstanding. But none of those voices have the final say. When God opens a door, even those who doubted you will come from unexpected places. When God opens a step aside, opportunities will come from unexpected places. Favor will find you in rooms you didn't even know existed. And what makes it powerful is that you'll recognize it wasn't something you manipulated. It was something divinely arranged. This truth also challenges the way you view obstacles. What looks like a locked door to you may not be locked at all. It may simply not be your door. And instead of wasting energy trying to force your way through it, you can trust that God is guiding you toward the door that has your name on it. When that door opens, it will align with your purpose, your calling, and your season. It won't require you to compromise your values or lose your identity just to stay inside. There is a confidence that comes from knowing that God's authority is backing your life. It allows you to walk differently, speak differently, and think differently. You're no longer desperate for validation because you already have divine approval. You're not shaken by rejection because you understand that rejection by people does not equal removable by God. And you're not intimidated by closed doors because you know that the right door, once open, cannot be shut by anyone. So instead of focusing on who holds power in the natural, shift your focus to the one who holds all power. Trust that when the time is right, God will open the door that no one can shut. And when he does, it will be undeniable, unstoppable, and perfectly aligned with his plan for your life. One of the hardest things to accept in life is a closed door, especially when you are convinced that what stood behind it was meant for you. You prayed about it, worked toward it, and imagined your future through it. So when it doesn't open, disappointment sets in. It feels like rejection, like loss, like something has gone wrong. But what you often perceive as rejection is in many cases divine protection operating in ways you cannot yet see. Not every opportunity that looks right is truly right for you. Some doors appear promising on the surface, but behind them are consequences, distractions, or burdens that would pull you away from your true purpose. If God allowed every door you desired to open, you might walk into situations that would harm you more than help you. So in his wisdom, he closes certain doors, not to punish you, but to preserve you. Protection doesn't always feel good in the moment. It can feel like delay, like denial, like you're being held back, while others move ahead. You may even question why things aren't working out when you've done everything you thought was necessary. But what you cannot see is what God sees. He sees the full picture, the hidden pitfalls, the unseen struggles, the timing that is not yet right. And because he sees what you don't, he intervenes in ways there. They may not make sense right now, but will make perfect sense later. Think about how many times in life you've looked back and said, I'm glad that didn't work out. In the moment it hurt, you didn't understand it. But with time, clarity came. You realized that if that door had opened, you would have missed something better. Or you would have stepped into something that would have drained you, distracted you, or even damaged you. That's the nature of divine protection. It often reveals its purpose after the fact. Closed doors also serve as redirection. Sometimes you're moving in a direction that seems logical, even good, but it's not aligned with where you're ultimately meant to be.
When God closes a door, he's not just saying no, he's saying not this way. He's guiding your steps, steering you away from paths that don't lead to your purpose and toward ones that do.
But that redirection requires trust. It requires you to believe that even when you don't understand, God is still leading. There's also a refining process that happens through closed doors. When things don't open as expected, it forces you to grow. It stretches your faith, builds your patience, and deepens your dependence on God. It reveals your motives, whether you were chasing something because it was truly aligned with your calling or simply because it looked appealing. In that space of waiting and uncertainty, God is shaping your character so that when the right door does open, you are ready to walk through it with wisdom and strength. It's important to recognize that a closed door is not a reflection of your worth. Too often, people internalize rejection and begin to believe that they are not good enough, not capable enough, or not deserving enough. But a closed door is not a statement about your value. It's a statement about direction. It's God saying that this particular path is not the one He has chosen for you. Your value remains intact, your purpose remains secure, and your future remains in His hands. When you begin to see closed doors through this lens, your perspective shifts. Instead of becoming bitter or discouraged, you become grateful. You start to trust that every closed door is actually working in your favor, even if you don't yet understand how. You stop forcing things that aren't opening and start paying attention to where God is leading you instead. There is peace in knowing that you don't have to figure everything out on your own. You don't have to open every door by your own efforts. Some doors are meant to remain closed, and that's not a loss. It's protection. It's guidance. It's part of a greater plan that is unfolding step by step. And when the right door finally opens, you will see the difference. It won't come with confusion or compromise. It will align with who you are and where you're meant to go. And in that moment, you will understand that every closed door along the way was not working against you. It was working for you, leading you exactly where you needed to be. There is a natural tendency to push, strive, and force things to happen when you feel strongly about an opportunity. When you believe something is right for you, it's easy to assume that persistence alone will open the door. So you keep knocking harder, trying different angles, convincing the right people, and exhausting your energy just to make it work. But there is a difference between diligence and force, between faithful effort and striving outside of alignment. What God has truly ordained for your life does not require manipulation to access. When something is from God, it carries a certain grace with it. That doesn't mean there won't be effort involved, but it does mean you won't have to compromise your values, lose your integrity, or become someone you're not just. To step into it, forced doors often come with pressure. Pressure to perform, pressure to pretend, pressure to maintain an image that isn't authentic. And even if you manage to push your way through, you may find yourself struggling to stay in a place that was never meant for you in the first place. Many people are worn out, not because they are working hard, but because they are working against resistance that is not meant to be overcome. They are investing time and energy into doors that remain tightly shut, thinking that if they just try a little harder, something will change. But sometimes that resistance is not an obstacle to break through. It is a signal to step back. Not every door that requires effort is wrong, but every God-ordained door will eventually open without you having to violate who you are to get through it. When you try to force what God has not opened, you take on a burden you were never designed to carry. You have to maintain the relationships, sustain the opportunities, and uphold the image all in your own strength. There is no peace in that, only pressure. But when God opens a door, He doesn't just give you access, He provides the grace to walk in it. You don't have to hold everything together by yourself because His hand is already on it. This truth invites you to trust timing as much as you trust desire. Just because you want something now doesn't mean it's the right time for it. And forcing it prematurely can create complications that delay or even derail what could have been a blessing. Timing matters, alignment matters. And God understands both in ways that you cannot fully grasp. When you learn to trust His timing, you release the need to control every outcome. There is also a level of discernment required. Not every opportunity that presents itself is meant to be pursued. Some things may look good, sound right, and even feel exciting, but they may not be aligned with your purpose. When you are rooted in trust, you don't chase every open door, you seek the right door. You become more selective, more intentional, and more at peace with letting certain things pass you by. Letting go of the need to force things does not mean becoming passive. It means becoming aligned. You still prepare, you still grow, you still take action, but your actions are guided by faith rather than fear. Fear says, if I don't make this happen, I'll miss out. Faith says, what is meant for me cannot miss me. That shift changes everything. It removes the anxiety, the desperation, and the constant pressure to prove yourself. There is freedom in knowing that you don't have to chase what God has already assigned to you. You don't have to beg for opportunities that are meant to find you. When the right door opens, it will come with confirmation, clarity, and peace, not confusion and chaos. It will align with your values, your calling, and your season. And when you walk through a door that God has opened, you will notice the difference immediately. There is a sense of ease, not because it's effortless, but because it's supported. You are not constantly fighting to belong or struggling to maintain your position. Instead, you are growing, thriving, and walking in something that feels both purposeful and sustainable. So release the need to force outcomes. Let go of the doors that require you to become someone you're not. Trust that what God has ordained for your life will come to you in the right way and at the right time. And when it does, you won't have to question it, manipulate it, or struggle to hold on to it, because what God opens comes with his hand, his favor, and his sustaining power already built into it. It is one thing for a door to open, and it is another thing entirely to be ready to walk through it and remain there. Many people focus so much on the opportunity itself that they overlook the responsibility that comes with it. They pray for access, for elevation, for new levels, but they don't always prepare for what those new levels will require. Favor may open the door, but it is character, discipline, and spiritual maturity that determine whether you can stay in the room once you get there. Opportunities have a way of revealing what is inside you. When everything is hidden, it's easy to believe you are ready. But when a door opens and you step into a new environment, new pressures and expectations begin to surface. The very thing you prayed for can begin to expose areas where you are not yet developed. That's why preparation is not optional. It is essential. God is not just interested in getting you into a position. He is invested in shaping you so that the position does not overwhelm you. Character is the foundation that sustains every blessing. Without it, even the greatest opportunities can become unstable. You can have talent and still fail without integrity. You can have talent and still lose it without discipline. You can have favor and still fall if your inner life is not aligned with your outer calling. What you carry on the inside must be strong enough to support where you are going on the outside. Preparation often happens in seasons that feel unnoticed and unimportant. It's in the quiet places, the routine moments, the times when no one is watching. It's in how you handle small responsibilities, how you respond to challenges, how you manage your time, your attitude, and your decisions. These moments may not feel significant, but they are shaping the person you are becoming. And who you are becoming will determine how you handle what you are given. There is also a refining process that takes place before elevation. God will allow you to go through situations that test your patience, your humility, and your consistency. These are not random experiences. They are intentional. They are preparing you to handle greater influence, greater responsibility, and greater visibility. Without this refining, the weight of success can become too much to carry. Discipline plays a critical role in sustaining what God gives you. It's not enough to have a moment of breakthrough. You need the habits that support long-term growth. Discipline is what keeps you grounded when things are going well and focused when challenges arise. It helps you stay aligned with your values even when there are opportunities to compromise. It ensures that you are not just reacting to situations, but responding with wisdom and intention. Spiritual maturity is equally important. As you grow, you need a deeper understanding of who you are and whose you are. You need the ability to discern what is right, to make decisions that align with your purpose, and to remain steady even when circumstances change. Without spiritual maturity, it is easy to become distracted, overwhelmed, or influenced by the wrong things. But when you are rooted, you can navigate new environments with clarity and confidence. One of the challenges that comes with open doors is the temptation to rely on the opportunity itself rather than the God who provided it. It's easy to become comfortable to assume that because the door is open, everything will automatically work out. But staying in the room requires the same dependence, the same humility, and the same commitment that brought you there in the first place. You cannot afford to disconnect from the source of your strength. Preparation also involves understanding your purpose. When you know why you are in the room, you are less likely to be distracted by things that do not align with your calling. You are able to focus your energy, make intentional decisions, and use the opportunity in a way that brings growth and impact. Without that clarity, it is easy to lose direction, even in the middle of a blessing. So while it is natural to desire open doors, it is just as important to desire readiness. The goal is not just to get there, it is to remain, to grow, and to thrive once you arrive. And that requires a foundation that is strong enough to support the weight of the opportunity. When you embrace preparation, you begin to see every season as valuable. Nothing is wasted. Every lesson, every challenge, every moment of growth is contributing to your readiness. And when the door finally opens, you won't just step into it. You will be equipped to stand, to serve, and to succeed in a way that is lasting and meaningful. What often feels like delay can be one of the most misunderstood parts of the journey. You have the vision, you have the desire, and you may even feel ready, yet nothing seems to move at the pace you expect. Days turn into months and months into longer seasons, and you begin to question what is happening. It can feel like you've been overlooked, like something has gone wrong, or like your prayers are not being answered. But delay is not an indication that God has forgotten you. It is often evidence that he is working in ways you cannot yet see. There is a difference between denial and delay. Denial is a closed door with no intention of opening. Delay, on the other hand, is a door that will open, but not yet. The challenge is that from your perspective, both can look the same. You see no movement, no change, no visible progress. But just because you don't see activity does not mean there is no activity. Much of what God does happens behind the scenes, beneath the surface, beyond your awareness. Timing is a critical part of every promise and every opportunity. If something arrives too early, it can become a burden instead of a blessing. You may have the desire for it, but not yet the capacity to manage it. In those moments, delay becomes protection. It allows time for growth, for development, for alignment. It ensures that when the opportunity does come, you are not stepping into something that will overwhelm you, but into something you are ready to handle. There are also external factors that need to align. You are not the only piece of the puzzle. There are people, circumstances, and conditions that must come together at the right moment. God is not just preparing you, he is preparing everything around you. He is positioning the right connections, opening the right paths, and removing the wrong elements. If the door opened too soon, those pieces would not be in place, and what could have been smooth would become complicated. Delay also deepens your faith. It stretches your ability to trust when there is no immediate evidence. It challenges you to believe even when you cannot see results. In a culture that values speed and instant gratification, waiting can feel uncomfortable and unnatural. But there is strength that is built in waiting, strength that cannot be developed any other way. It teaches patience, resilience, and a deeper reliance on God rather than on circumstances. During seasons of delay, it is easy to become discouraged and to lose focus. You may begin to compare your journey with others, wondering why things seem to be happening for them while you remain in the same place. But comparison can distort your perspective. What you see in someone else's life is only a part of their story. You do not see their process, their preparation, or their timing. Your journey is unique, and the timing of your life is tailored specifically for you. Delay is also an opportunity to refine your motives. It gives you time to examine why you want what you want. Is it driven by purpose or by pressure? Is it aligned with who you are called to be or influenced by what others expect? In the waiting, clarity begins to form. Your desires become more focused, more intentional, and more aligned with your true calling. There is a quiet work that happens in delay that is easy to overlook. It is not loud or visible, but it is powerful. It is the work of shaping your character, strengthening your foundation, and aligning your direction. It is the work that ensures that when the door opens, it will not just be a moment of excitement be the beginning of something sustainable. And when the timing finally comes, it often happens in a way that is unmistakable. What once felt stuck begins to move. Opportunities come together. Connections are made. Things that were difficult become easier. And you realize that what you thought was delay was actually precise timing. Nothing was late. Nothing was missing. Everything was unfolding exactly as it needed to. So instead of resisting delay, learn to embrace it. Use the time to grow, to prepare, to deepen your faith, and to align yourself with what is ahead. Trust that the same God who gave you the vision is also in control of the timing. And when the moment is right, what has been delayed will not be denied. It will come in a way that is complete, purposeful, and perfectly on time. There is a tendency to focus on the door itself, the opportunity, the breakthrough, the visible change you've been waiting for. But what often gets overlooked is what happens after the door opens. Walking through it is not the final step. It is the beginning of a new level of responsibility, growth, and dependence on God. The same faith that carried you to the door is the faith that must carry you through what comes next. When a door opens, it can be exciting, even overwhelming. You step into something new, something you've prayed for, something that stretches you beyond where you've been. But new levels come with new challenges. There are expectations, pressures, and unknowns that you may not have faced before. Without a continued reliance on God, it is easy to become overwhelmed or to start leaning on your own understanding rather than His guidance. One of the greatest dangers after a door opens is the temptation to become self-reliant. You may begin to think that your abilities, your efforts, or your strategies are what brought you there. Slowly, without realizing it, you're there. Dependence on God can begin to fade. You may still acknowledge Him, but not seek Him with the same intensity as before. And when that happens, you risk losing the very alignment that allowed the door to open in the first place. Staying dependent on God requires intentionality. It means continuing to seek Him daily, not just in moments of need, but in every decision, every challenge, and every opportunity. It means recognizing that success does not eliminate the need for guidance, it increases it. The higher you go, the more important it is to remain grounded, to stay connected to the source of your strength and wisdom. Gratitude also plays a key role in sustaining what you've been given. When you remain grateful, you remember that the opportunity is a gift, not an entitlement. Gratitude keeps your heart in the right place. It protects you from pride and keeps you aware of how far you've come and who brought you there. It shifts your focus from what you have achieved to what has been entrusted to you. Another important aspect is stewardship. An open door is not just about receiving, it is about managing well.
Everything I used to live for faded slowly out of sight. Now my days just circle around you like I'm lost without a light.
All the noise just turns to silence when your memory comes through. And the world I once was chasing now feels small and shaped like you. My whole world is only you. Every thought keeps breaking through. You're so close inside my mind, but so far in real life.
I can feel you everywhere, in the things we never shared. All this love I'm going through
never reaches you. Every image feels so real now, like you're standing next to me. the truth is in the silence you were never meant to see. My whole world is only you. Every thought keeps breaking through. You're so close inside my mind, but so far in real life. I can feel you everywhere, in the things we never shared. All this love I'm going through never reaches you. If you felt it for a moment, would it change the way you stay?
Or would I still be the shadow that just fades away?